wrong. Being human and being wrong. Everyone keeps telling me to go up fast, and that is so tough. Can't wrap my head around it. Your anti-rules, ego tripping too. We do people know we're in this war, and we're surviving. Get into anything, stay alive. It's fun, make it hard. Worthless game that never win. We're coming to darkness in the end. 何が正しくて何が間違っているんだ。僕はただここで生きてると叫びたいだけ。I have voices going by my true name. I will never give up on this way anymore. Nobody can stop me. This is the way I am. I say to you, drop it, baby, yeah. So this is the way I am, yeah.
All right, welcome back to Hentai Prison. Today's gonna be shorter. It's gonna be 1 hour. I have to get back to work after this. Let's get started then immediately. Kurabayashi smiles while sipping her soup as I tell her about my discovery. I got it right.
このプリズンの成り立ち聞いたことないですか？
It used to be a famous mine. Many people lived here.
ええ、とうな昔に閉山して今となっては刑務所ですが、そこかしこに昔の名残があるんですよ。
I guess the use of the mine for prison labor is one of those. For now, that means what's inside my wall is one of those traces as well.
ご明察。
The space inside my wall is a remnant of the time when people used to live here. There. But no matter how hard I try to think about it, I don't have a good theory of how it came to be. There are too many possibilities. Before coming up with an answer, I had to know what the building was before it became the obscenity ward. Kurabayashi kicks my leg as I scatter my thoughts.
これを。
She hands me something under the table. Natto beans. Natto is a very common food item here. Perhaps it's something to do with what's inside the walls. Did they use to cultivate soybeans in here? No, I can't imagine them doing that on such a small island. In that case, could the beans be the clue? These beans are fermented. Fermentation and decay are synonymous. Could something inside the wall have decayed, turning that space hollow?
どうしたんですか？考え込んで。
If you guys remember the other routes. I'm thinking about the connection between the beans and the walls.
は？嫌いだからやっただけですけど。
There you go.
いますよね。何にでも関連性を見出そうとするやつ。
Without a word, I mix the beans with my rice. It tastes good.
助かります。
We're in this together. I give the packaging back to her to avoid getting in trouble. I like beans.
私はその匂いとネチャネチャ糸引いてるのとだけで吐き気がしますよ。うえ。
Dude, the neba, what the fuck, man? That's good shit, but whatever. I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't like the neba, man.
俺は女から納豆くせえ匂いがしたらいい吐き気がするけどな。
お前はそうでしょうけどね。
Once he realizes we aren't talking about smells, Bio Snake loses all interest in the conversation.
人間も豆も何でも腐らせないと気が済まないんですかね、ここは。
I wonder if it was already rotten back then.
楽器はあったようですね。こんなちんけな島に5000人以上いたんですから。人口密度は世界一だったとか。
5,000. I feel like I've heard I have heard about it before, but that's a lot.
インフラ整備も大変だったようですよ。ただでさえ密集している住宅の全部屋に水や電気を送らないといけないし、地下の最短現場にも電気は欠かせませんから。その上やっと整うかと思ったら人も建物もどんどん増えていく。おかげで当時作られたダクトはめちゃくちゃに入り組んでいるという話です。
That sounds hard. Being part of it, myself, the person's history sounds fascinating. I never paid much attention to them while working, but I recall seeing massive ducts in the mine. Electricity and ventilation are crucial down in the tunnels. I don't know if they're still in use today, but those ducts are clearly built to support the mine. The fact that they extended not only deep into the mine, but also across the surface is quite impressive. Huh? Something catches my attention.
プリズンを建てる時も苦労したと聞きますよ。ダクトが入り組みすぎてて、下手に壊すとどこにどう影響するかわからないとかで。
I had to confirm my suspicions. Are these ducts still intact?
全部は壊されてないという話です。
Which means some of them remain.
ちなみにそのダクトなんですが、
They might be connected to the space inside the wall.
人間が通れるくらいでかかったって話です。
Alright, no problem. It's only my second day at the shipyard, but everything is going smoothly. Luckily, the inmates in here try to avoid trouble, but I also think I made a good impression yesterday. Well, I shouldn't let my guard down as long as I'm being careful. There shouldn't be any problems. I need to focus on those ducks. Judging from what Kurubayashi said the other day, there's a good chance that there's a duck hidden behind the wall of my cell. And probably one that's big enough for someone to fit in. What lies at the end of these intricate conduits is a mystery. If there's a path leading outside the prison walls, my own cell could become the gateway to my escape. Of course, I have a lot of issues to address before that. I had to talk to Kurubayashi.
来なさいお前。
She calls me over just as the break is about to start. She sits in front of the computer Dark Circle was using yesterday. She starts using it. Can we use
ダ
that?
メですよ。
I thought so.
ちなみにこれもダメです。
She tosses me aname. I'll make sure to eat the packaging first this time. Are you allowed to use the PC?
使用許可はもらってます。私はちょっと特別なので。
Tokubetsu? She rolls the candy in her mouth and continues typing on the
こ
keyboard.
ういうとこでも結局資格や免許を持ってるやつが有利って話です。
There's a blueprint on the screen. Looks like it's a 3D model. When she types, the blueprint rotates, and a list of numbers and terms are displayed. It looks like a lot of work.
必要経費というやつですよ。
Are you doing something bad with the PC?
まさかするわけないでしょ。
That's
不
good.
正アクセスと脱獄経路の捜索をしてます。
That's a very good thing.
でしょ。
I glance around, checking that no guards are coming. Won't you get caught by the
不
guards?
正アクセスはバレてるでしょうね。
We're allowed to
ダ
hack.
メですよ。
I thought
と
so.
はいえ監視と仲良くするためにやってることです。連中も知った上で知らん顔してますよ。
She's bribing the guards with money. Most likely, she also uses the PC to arrange financial transfers. Anyway, that's her area of expertise. If she says it's not a problem, I won't worry about it. Well, I want to ask about the ducks. Another matter catches my interest. What about those escape routes?
私のあだ名。お
Apple?
それは小学校時代のあだ名です。
I had a feeling, given her hair color.
今の話をしてんですよ、私は。
Drone girl.
Yes。つまりそういうことです。
Yes. I asked about the escape routes, and she just points me to her nickname. Sumari, are you looking for an escape route with a drone?
そういうことです。
As I nod and respond, she plunges a hand into the clothes around her chest. She takes out a chip the size of a fingertip. A memory card. She
この
nods.
PC 作業を全て仮想領域上でやっていて、電源を切ると仮想領域のデータが全消去される仕様なんです。
So you can't keep the data?
です。しかしこいつを使うと
She inserts the card into the PC.
消えるはずのデータも取っておくことができるわけです。
All the data saved in the card appears at the top of the
そ
screen.
してこれが先ほど言ったもの。
As she types, a 3D image of the island appears on the screen. This one allows her to change the angle and zoom in various places. Zoom in is quite accurate. There are places I've never been to. All of this is made with a drone.
はい、取ったものを 3D データに起こしています。
Sugoi.
まだ不完全ですけどね、こういうとことか。
She tries to zoom in to the guard's quarters, but the screen turns
地
black.
下と建造物内は他よりも弱いです。基本的には必要ないとこでもありますが。
Even with that, there's a massive load of data. During all the time I spent immersed in the game and rotting in solitary, she was collecting data. I'm in awe once again. Did you collect all of this since you got here?
入る前から多少はやってましたよ。とはいえ、外からの侵入にはかなり目が利くようで、何機も討ち死にさせて、ようやくボタ山の一つが死角になってることが分かりましたが、そこから入っても、ただ石の粉砕機があるだけ。
The slag heap is the mountain created by all the rockways from the mine.
そうかといって迂回をすれば、また見つかって死ぬのがオチで、結局データの大半は入所後に集めたものです。
To gather the data after entering, she has to fly the drones within the prison, which means her accomplice on the outside sent it to her. The same goes for that memory card. That's not something you would normally see around here. Did you get all of this through the ships?
正解って言うと思いました？外れです。
How did you do it then?
普通ですよ。体の中に隠して持ち込みました。
Drones and memory cards.
操縦桿も
How they have enough spit in the one that I'm gonna ask? I mean, how does that fit?
分解すれば、人の体って結構収納場所が多いんですよ。例えば
While sucking her ame, she reaches for her throat. She starts rubbing it as if she was looking for something. Her throat swells as if she swallowed something, then swelling disappears before her neck to below her chest.
はい。
She opens her mouth. She has perfect teeth. Her mouth is a vivid pale pink, and her moist red tongue glistens in the light. The ame she was sucking on earlier is gone. Did you swallow it? She nods. She lightly strokes her throat again. She violently starts retching.
戻ってきました。
She rolls the ame around her mouth. You're not going to show
見
me.
たいんですか？
Yeah.
嫌です。見せたくないので。
Zannen. Even without seeing it, I can tell that she isn't lying. But she has such a pretty mouth. I want to see the ame that went inside her. That sounds risky.
適切に訓練して限度を知ればなんてことないですよ。喉奥に異物を入れる感触も慣れたら案外癖になります。
I wonder if in the later scenes, if you know what I mean, he's gonna maul the throat. Anyway, that's sexy.
おすすめはしませんけどね。失敗すると命に関わる。
Well, our guy has been using the other end. And yet she trained to be able to do it anyway. A logical approach. It's true that during inspections, they check the vagina, the butt, but not up to the stomach.
まあそっちにも入れてきましたけど。
Why didn't they notice? The facility smuggling check is stricter than elsewhere, especially for sex offenders. This is because the number of inmates who widen their holes is significantly higher than in regular prisons. There are even rumors that the national average anal dilation is up to 41 millimeters due to this prison's influence. Prisoners in this facility often hide things in their holes, and it leads to more thorough inspections. I wonder how she managed to get through.
理由はいくつかありますけど、一つには私が処女膜を残していたこと。処女に対しては検査が緩くなる傾向があるんです。拡張なんてしてたら普通は膜なんて残りませんからね。
Thanks for letting us know.
もう一つには私が類犯じゃなかったこと。前科持ちには当然検査が厳しくなりますが、そうでなければ多少は甘さが出ます。それからその日、私は月の触りであるかのように偽装していました。連中変に潔癖で血生臭いのを細かく調べるのは嫌みたいです。怠慢なことで。
I thought inspections were tougher than that.
監視はそう言いますよ。厳しいことにしておけばそもそも持ち込もうなんて思わないですから。でもね、所詮は性犯罪者に買収されるクズどものやること。立場を使って囚人をいたぶりたいだけのが大半。真面目に取り締まろうなんてのが一体何人いるんでしょうね。
Now that you mentions it, it does ring a bell. The guards here have a strong negative attitude towards the inmates without necessarily being strict. If anything, they come across as carefree, which is very consistent in the other routes as time went along. They were only like very strict to like people who just arrived in the island, and then they started to relax on them. It's like they specifically only bully if it's your first 2 weeks or something, and then it just becomes normal that, you know, even Sovereign is just randomly hanging around with Minato, Suichiro, and then, you know, Himero fucking gambling. Anyway, there are times when I receive unfair punishment based on false accusations, and sometimes I get away with things just by playing it by ear. Looking back, when I first arrived, I was hammered with how strict it is once you get used to prison life. The sloppiness of the guards become obvious. I guess establishing a hierarchy through fear from the beginning helps to prevent rebellious acts. It makes sense that they treat their inspections no more seriously than all the rest of their work.
正直バレると思っていましたけどね。没収されても保管はされる。それを改めて取り戻すのが本命のプランだったんですが、想定の下を行かれましたよ。
She stands up and starts stroking the floor while
ま
swatting.
あ、連中が愚かなことは我々にとっては得しかないです。
She's scratching the floor with her nails. What is she doing? Something pops up in my mind as I see her scratching. Could that floor? Her nails catch on the seam on the floor. A thin tile comes off the floor. Under the tile is a fist-sized hole. And
こい
inside,
つでドローンを動かしてます。
the drone's controller. The hole was already there when she arrived. It was probably created by a former inmate to conceal items acquired through the ship. She just repurposed it.
ここに置いときゃ探知に引っかかることもないですからね。
To prevent theft, upon returning from the shipyard, we passed through a metal detector. It would still be detected if it was hidden in her. So she avoids passing it through the detection gate altogether by hiding it inside the shipyard. Can I ask where you hid it before you came here?
ダメですけど。
As for the drones, she flies them around the island and parks them away from prying eyes. Looks like they can be remotely activated with a control stick, so there's no need to keep them nearby. What an elaborate plan. The more I hear about it, the bolder I think she is. A necessary quality to escape. Anyway, now I understand what she's been up to. There's something else I want to talk about. About the ducks in the... She shushes me. She quickly returns the control stick under the tile, closes it, pulls out the memory card from the computer. The guard yawning arrives quickly after. There were no signs that she was coming back, meaning that Kurobayashi knows her rhythms from observing her every day.
ああ、0720番。仕事は
Yes. Inspection completed.
うん。後で見とく。0721番は明日の事前準備終了しました。問題ありません。
She takes out a piece of paper from her chest pocket and hands it to Dark Circle.
うん。よし、問題なし。5分したら後片付けに入って。はい。
Right. Dark Circle heads towards the ship. What was that paper for?
みかじめ料です。
Thought
分かっ
so.
てきたじゃないですか。
She uses the PC to hack around and arrange money transfers, then hands over the info needed to access the money on a slip of paper like that. I guess it's less risky than loading a boat up with cash. So...
ラクトの件、ぶっちゃけめちゃシンプルな話なので後回しにしましたが。
Simple?
壁を削って穴を開けてください。
She's right. That is simple.
今日見た船でちょうど壁削りを拾ったんですよ。
How lucky.
ええ、本当に。
How do I get past the metal
そん
detector?
な都合のいいもんはないです。
Can you bribe them to overlook it?
監視はクズで、クズっていうのは三度の飯より保身を愛する生き物です。凶器にもなる工具がよそで見つかれば、それは造船工場担当の責任。絶対見逃さないでしょう。
How do you go through with a memory card?
こいつはもともと反応しない作りです。実はこの PC、外部記憶装置媒体を拒絶する仕様なんですが、それも破っちゃう偉いやつです。
Can you design the chisel not to be detected?
なれません。
We're done with our work. Everyone is lining up, waiting to go through the metal detector's gate. Kurobayashi goes through easily. I go through the gate without stopping. Kusumori, who follows me, jumps like a flea as the alarm goes off.
止まれ
Everyone stops. No one likes troublemakers here. This won't go peacefully.
0858番。取って。
私じゃ悪いこと何も私
どれ
She goes through the gate again.
ならんね。
よかった無罪もともと無罪なんです私無罪で
有罪だよ。邪魔。0720番。取って。
The detector goes off as it barks at me.
2日目でやるかね。面倒だな。変身する。両手上げて。
Hi. I follow her instructions and she starts patting me down.
もしかして渡してないんですかお前。渡してない？はい。失礼します。
Kurobayashi reaches into my
ああ、
pocket.
やっぱり。
She pulls out something from my pocket.
それは船舶整備中に破損したんです。
It's one of the tools we use in the shipyard. A screwdriver with a broken blade.
報告するよう私からお願いしていたはずですが。
I'm sorry. I forgot.
忘れてたと。忘れたで済めば刑務官はいりません。気づいたからよかったものの、工具の持ち出しなんて重罪ですよ。確かに不注意で済ませるには。
けどそもそもジェンラマンさんが来たのってドローンさんが言ったからだし任命責任とかいやでも2日目でとか呼んだ側が何もないのはいいとか良くないとか
Kusumori is accusing Kurobayashi while gauging the guard's
ど
reactions.
うしますか先生
いいよ。罰するほどのことじゃない。
そうですよね私もちょうどそう思っていたところで
Yeah, Kusumori did Kusumori forget it's actually a hassle for them if they actually report like a prisoner doing something wrong. You know, I remember that from what they were talking about Sulfurin was talking about. Like she prefers that there wasn't something they weren't, since they're the guards responsible, right?
お騒がせして申し訳ありません。
Kurabayashi bows while handing over the screwdriver to the
これは
guard.
用意しとく。
She signals me to go on. We leave shortly after we're done, thanking her. I take out my jacket in the inspection room. I reach into the pocket on the opposite side. I feel something hard. That was a
ク
success.
ソフォレストがいいサポートをしてくれましたね。
Looks like she's still holding a grudge against you for being sent to solitary.
監視も恨みも買っとくもんです。
Well said. It's past lights out. The day is about to end. Surrounded by darkness, I kneel and press my ear against the wall. I hear the sound of air passing through the cavity. This is it. No doubt. Just in case, I walk to the bars and check the outside of my cell. No traces of the guards. I slip my hand into the tear in my mattress and take out the chisel. Wait, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I fucking hate fake collections agency calls. They're fake fucking scams, man. Anyway, it is about the size of my palm, with a flat, wide blade-like part. Just like a broom. I grip the handle, face the wall, and vigorously start rubbing the blade. I repeat the movement 1, 2, and 3 times. After repeating it 10 more times, I touch the tip. A fine powder sticking to my fingers. It's working. I let out a smile. It's rather slow, but if I persevere, I should be able to dig a hole in that wall. I will reach the duck on the other side, and that will be my secret escape weapon.
やったな、修一郎。
Yeah, but let's be careful. I lower my voice. If they find the chisel during a surprise shakedown, I can say goodbye to my plan to escape.
壁の穴も見つかったらおしまいか。
Amatsukun's right. The further I dig, the greater the
得てし
risk.
てそういうものかもしれない。相手を殴りたい時には殴られる距離まで近づかなければならないように。
Like how I had to expose a weak point to let anyone see you. He laughs. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
しかし、どうも解せない。
Amatsukun speaks as we try to figure out a way to hide the wall shavings. Kurabayashi. He twitches, nodding like he wants to hear more.
彼女は脱獄のために相当計画を練っていたように見える。
Yes, there is something bothering me. Amatsukun is probably thinking the same thing. Why does she need me? Judging by her actions, there's no doubt that she is trying to execute a solo escape plan. Bribing the guards, bringing in drones, searching for a route. Everything indicates that she is well prepared to handle it by herself.
ダクトにつながる棒を探していた可能性はあるが、
But there was no guarantee that this room was connected to the ducts when we agreed to help each other out. Our conversation about the duck in the evening.
お前は知らないでしょうが、女の坊は卑しいオスどもがチラチラ覗きに行くんですよ。気持ちの悪い。だから穴を開けるならお前の坊の方がいい。私のとこだといらないリスクを買うことになる。
It makes me think that her room might also be connected to the ducts. She's completely capable of digging that hole if she wants to. But that's not the reason why she has to rely on me. When she presses the screwdriver on my neck, I just offered my help to avoid a potentially fatal situation. I said that as a last resort, but surprisingly she agreed to it. She looked like kind of cornered back then. as she suddenly needs help with a plan she meant to carry it out alone. It has to be because something went wrong. So what could have... No. Wait. I've been thinking about this wrong. She never planned to do anything alone. It looks like she is doing everything by herself, but a lot of people have been involved all along.
修一郎看守だ
I quickly shift my focus. After hiding the chisel inside my mattress, I quickly go back to bed. As Kurabayashi mentioned earlier, the Kanshu are far from being serious about their job. Even though night patrols are part of their jobs, most days no one bothers to come. There are only two who come regularly, Officer Yamagishi and... A faint light illuminates the cell for a few seconds. Soon the light turns to the right, moving along the footsteps. I recall Kurabayashi saying that she'll escape with her Onesan. That situation is still unclear to me. She says that Sofrin's help is out of the question, but something about that still strikes me as odd. I shake my head. I don't need to think about this. Kurabayashi said she would be taking care of her. There's no need for me to focus on that. Unnecessary thoughts create openings, which lead to unexpected mistakes. I can't afford to make any mistakes until the escape. I had no time to waste on unanswered questions. I need to think about what needs to be done. For now, my top priority is clear. I must find a way to hide the hole in my wall. Libby goes around with a cart filled with pawns.
ゼンラ君これ頼まれてたお船の本です。なんか僕が日直の時に縁があるね。
That must be because I like shoes.
そうなの？え、それ初耳。好きなんだ上履き。
Yeah, she does. I love them. I was completely taken aback when my shoes got stolen.
それやったの僕かも。
Huh?
こは冗談だよ。ああ、それからそうだ。これ工場の担当さんから。
She hands me a rolled up poster tucked away in a pile of books. Thanks. I'm curious about that too. I pick up a thick hardcover book and flip through the pages. Looks tough. I won't take it. I tuck my thank you into this hardcover and return it to Slippy.
はいはい。今度時間あるとき絶対上履きの話しようね。本漢本貸し出し希望の方。
I quickly unfold the poster. It's a diagram, but should be dismantled, accompanied by concise inspection procedures. It's the same as the one taped to the wall at the shipyard.
あそこのポスターと同じのを一つこいつの分に届けてやってはもらえませんか？
Ask Kurabayashi to the supervisor at their work
どうも
hours.
外では違うやり方をしてきたみたいで早く覚えてほしいんですよね。
I want to learn as fast as I can to become a useful citizen. We get permission. Then she says,
脱獄用の穴ってのはポスターで隠すものですから。
Oh man. Considering that the opening song has a reference to that famous prison escape movie, you know, Shawshank Redemption, and one of the tricks involves a poster. Well. Yeah. Once put up, the poster perfectly covers the hole. Wait, I can't remember what poster that Taika used during her route, because remember that Suichiro was able to visit her cell, but they had to cover like something, the hole or whatever. Anyway, with that, I can continue digging without having to worry about that showing. The The hole is safe and as long as the poster doesn't peel off. I want to open that hole as soon as I can. I'll dig into the wall during nighttime. Having a hole big enough to fit in is a huge step forward. I'm getting closer to the outside every day. That's good. I'll do what I have to.
ここが検診所。わいせつ棒はその地下です。
Kurobayashi opens the 3D map on the screen and explains what it shows.
独房は廊下を挟んで左右に配置されてます。お前の棒は右？左？
According to this, it would be on the left.
壁をぶち抜いてまっすぐ進んだ時の道筋は？
If you head towards the Sulis Gate, I point to the island's overview, tracing the path with my finger as if moving forward straight ahead. Like this.
だいたいそんなところでしょう。まあダクトがずっとまっすぐ伸びてるわけはないですが、今はそれで構いません。穴が開いたらダクトに入って実際移動してもらうことになります。それまでにこのデータを頭に叩き込んでください。
わかった。After lights out, I diligently go back to chiseling the wall. The more I spend on this, the closer I get to the duct. The time-result ratio makes this task straightforward and satisfying. If there is a path to freedom behind this wall, I can dig until sunrise.
没頭するのはとても偉いが、睡眠不足が心配だ。
I was thinking the same thing. A lack of sleep can dull the brain's function. And right now, any mistake can be fatal to the plan. I'll secure at least a little sleep every night and make up for it by napping during our days off.
悪くない考えだ。睡眠不足に陥ることには変わりないが。
Which is true, so you can't try to pay your sleep that just getting more sleep on the weekend. That doesn't work. That sleep doesn't work that way. Anyway, coming from me, Mr. Sleep Deprived. Anyway, I need to find a way to save up some sleeping time while still progressing on the wall.
運動場に出るときも刑務作業に出るときも常に頭に地図を描いて動いてください。10歩歩けば地図上でどれくらいの距離移動するのか把握しておけば、たとえ辺りが真っ暗闇でも自分の位置を認識できます。
It's like real timing training, but trying it out is surprisingly fun. I draw a map in my mind and place a single point on it. Needless to say, the point is my location. As I move, the point moves along with me in the map. I will do this as often as I can. If I manage to do this regularly, my accuracy will improve. The map naturally comes into my mind now. It's like I'm viewing myself from above.
言うじゃないですか。地下の最短現場の方向は？
That
北は
way.
どっち？
That way.
まあ合格です。
That's like I've got a map app in my head.
審査通らなそうですね。
We should call it Map Prison.
センス最低クソネーム。
Alright, whatever. Huh? I think that's a really good name. Which way is America? I feel playful and want to test her for a change.
だいたいあっち。
She's probably right.
100年早いんですよ。
He lets out a triumphant, smug smile. It's been a week since I started digging the hole. Now that the hole is big enough, I can also hide the tools behind the poster. That way, no need to worry about inspections. On the other hand, I still haven't come up with a solution for my lack of sleep. I need to find something to avoid it hindering my daily tasks. If I sleep anymore, I'll fall behind on the excavation. I keep digging, racking my brains for a solution. I fell asleep. That's not good. It's fine to do so in my cell, but if it happens during work hours, I'll be in big trouble. Maybe I should prioritize my sleep over the wall. Huh? Something's different. The wall is carved deeper than I remember. I don't remember digging this far. Could it be?
すごいじゃないか、修一郎。寝ながら掘ってたようだぞ。
Undoubtedly the result of my repeated efforts. What if someone else was also digging there? I don't know, man. Really? He has the ability to sleep dig or some shit? What? I don't know, man. My body has memorized the movements and keeps digging while asleep. That's the best solution to keep progressing while getting enough sleep. I wish I could do that. As I'm finally reaching a solution, I feel a sudden surge of excitement. Let's try it immediately. I close my eyes while moving my body. I feel a sudden discomfort in my hands. Huh? I don't feel the wall. My cell is plunged into darkness. I can't see anything. In that case, I can only rely on my sense of touch. I put the tools down and run my fingers over the wall. Following the rough and gritty texture, I sink my fingers into the deepest point I carved. Huh? Suddenly the abrasive sensation vanishes. The wall I was just touching disappears. No matter how tired I am, I instantly understand what it means. I got through. After night after night, that's a couple of after nights of tireless chiseling, I finally opened a hole. I did it! The wall's thinner than I thought. Now that I think about it, it makes sense. Being able to hear the wind through the wall wouldn't have been possible if the wall were thicker. With a wall this thin, I should be able to make a big enough for someone to fit through in just a few weeks. My brain's like in just a few weeks.
頑張った成果だな。さすが修一郎だ。
It's all thanks to your support. Our escape plan is progressing smoothly without anyone noticing. And
こいつを独房に持ってってください。
I should be able to finish the hole tonight. As I report that to Kurobayashi, she takes out the device hidden under the tiles. The control
い
stick.
や、持ってってほしいのはこいつの相棒。
He presses the buttons on the control stick and taps on the PC's keys. A view of the prison appears on the screen. The lighting and the angles are bad, but if I squint, I can make out a building that looks like the laundry room at the edge of the screen. Is this a live feed from the coal tank by the mine?
ええ、まさに今現在の。
As she tilts the stick, the image starts moving. A drone.
はい、それも手のひらサイズで暗所に強いの。先日船の整備中にたまたま拾って、なんかアクティベーション済みだったんで、試しに飛ばして隠してたんです。
So it's not the same as the one she uses for mapping out the area. She'd probably prepare this one in advance too. As always, she is well prepared. Sasugada. The screen shows impressively fast movements, a token of her piloting skills. Her nickname, Drone Girl, is really fitting. Why do you fly so low?
高いとこ飛び回るのもなかなか愉快ではありますけどね。
It makes you more likely to be spotted.
そういうこと。
She avoids being seen by hovering just above the ground. She stops and hides whenever someone comes around, then boldly dashes behind the kanchu. She has no hesitation and reacts quickly. The drone passes through the coal mine and heads towards the cells, the inspection room. She skillfully maneuvers through the trackless paths, guarding left and right through the tall grass.
あ、
It crashes into a hedge.
やってしまいましたね。
Despite hitting the controls frantically, the drone no longer responds. She lowers her shoulders as if admitting defeat, and silently puts the controller back under the floor.
さて、見てた通り、房へ戻る道の途中にドローンを隠しておいたので、拾って独房に持ち帰ってください。
Was that on purpose?
わざとです。驚きました？
I don't believe her. It feels like no, it doesn't feel like it. Or only half of it was her purpose, but for some reason it just went into the hedge. I really... Wait. I accidentally pressed something. I am really surprised.
それはよかった。前々からビビらせてやりてえなと思ってたんです。いつ見てもつまらない仏頂面ですからね。
Glad to entertain you. I have often been told about my lack of expression. While I never intended to present myself that way, it seems like others perceive me as unfriendly and difficult to read. Someone with an expressive face is undoubtedly more interesting than someone perpetually stoic. It doesn't bother me, and Amatsu-kun says that my face is expressive and easy to read, which is enough for me. You really did that? On purpose?
わざとですよ。この私があんなしょうもないとこにドローン突っ込ませるわけがない。
Yeah.
いやマジでわざとですからね。
You can tell it's not.
なんだその反応。ガチでわざとなんだか？
She's repeated on purpose 4 times now. At this point, I'm not sure if it's the truth or a lie. Bro, it's obviously a lie. The workday is over and everyone is lining up. We're surrounded by Kanshu as usual. I stop and raise my hand. Sumimasen! Bathroom, please.
言ってよし。
I step out of the line and veer off the path. My good behavior since I joined the shipyard reduces the Kanshu's suspicions towards me. Entering the bathroom now. I really go to the bathroom. I don't feel the gaze of the Kanshu. It's indeed easier to get by in the prison if you behave. In the past, the guards would have followed me in the bathroom and even checked my toilet habits. It's strange. What I'm doing now is far worse than before. I'm going out. I go in the opposite direction of where I came from. I can see the green hedges where the drone is headed. Boldness matters more than caution here. My best option is to quickly retrieve it and return it to my cell, and act as if nothing happened. I crouch near the hedge and reach out toward the spot where the drone landed.
Oi!
Why? Of all times does trouble have to find me now? But there's no need to panic. Just stay calm. I turn around with an innocent face. Yes?
貴様か0720番。
Alright, Subaru. She and I have a strange
近
connection.
頃随分と素行がいいらしいな。工場でもよく働いているという話を聞いている。
All thanks to your guidance, Sensei.
黙れ、勘違いするなよ。そういう話を聞いたというだけだ。自分は自分の目で物を見る。伝聞など当てにしない。いくら上辺を取り繕っても貴様のうちに流れる性犯罪を犯す血までは取り繕えない。知っているんだ。貴様らはいつでも卑しくいやらしい欲望を抱いているんだろう。
Officer Yamagishi shouts and quickly comes closer.
お家に帰る時間だよな。一体ここで何をしていた？
I just got out of the
道
bathroom.
に迷ったか？それともまたなんとかパラ宗教の教えか？
She came prepared. Seeing me at a loss for words, Officer Yamagishi grins.
そういえばこの場所には生垣があるな。
Yes?
貴様らが好きなジャンルにはメスガキがあるな。
Huh?
とぼけているなよ。貴様は今日生垣という言葉の鼓動にメスガキを見出した。池とささやくガキの幻聴を聞いた。冬の蜃気楼に発情していたのだろう。
My issue here is whether to admit or deny it. Even if I deny it, I know she won't believe me. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I had to get out of this situation.
貴様、手に何か持っているな。何を隠している？開けてみせろ。
It's
喋れと言ったか？開けろと言った。シャバで延々チンチンばかり握っていたから手の開け方がわからないかな。
any further could be considered insubordination. The difference between a kanshu and prisoner is absolute. I can't keep my hand closed. I stay silent and open my hand.
なんだこれは。
It's a dick-shaped rock.
そんなのは見ればわかる。なぜチンコみたいな形の石をその手の内に収めてた？
I saw the dick-shaped rock near the hedge when I came out the back.
なぜわざわざチンコみたいな形の石を拾った？
I thought that if one of the sex wars hentai found a dick-shaped rock, they would use it for kinky stuff. I picked up the dick-shaped rock in order to report it before it caused an incident.
なぜすぐチンコみたいな形の石を拾ったと言わなかった？
I thought you'd doubt me and think that I was going to use a dick-shaped rock to do kinky stuff. She stares at me for a good 10 seconds.
よこせ
Huh?
チンコみたいな形の石だろうが貴様の言う通り不適切な運用に使われる恐れがある私が責任を持って処分しておく
Yes, please. I hand her the dick-shaped rock. She ponders over the rock for a moment.
確かに用が済んだなら早く棒に戻れ
Yes, ma'am. Once I'm certain she's gone, I quickly crouch near the hedge. Found it. The drone is small enough to fit in the palm of my hand. I pick up the drone as if it's just another rock and get back to my cell. Then comes the moment of truth. In the middle of the night, as the entire obscenity ward is sleeping, I widen the hole significantly.
穴も随分広がったな。
You really love talking about holes.
少し気恥ずかしいが、こればかりはどうしてもな。しかしここまで広げたら、そろそろ入るんじゃないか、修一郎。
Yeah, I should. I put the chisel down. There's an old hole in my cell's wall. With such width, I will be able to enter without any problem. But before that, I need to deal with this. I discover a new obstacle between the wall and the duct. A steel-laced window. It's in the way, preventing me from breaking through to the other side of the wall. Another remnant of the past, just like the ducts. It's covered with rust. But despite that, it's quite robust. It doesn't budge, even when I try pressing all my weight onto it. I could kick it out. But based on the feel of it, I'm sure that would work. With one strong or one powerful kick, I could blow away this last
音
obstacle.
がネックだな。今やればわいせつ棒中に修一郎が暴れているとバレてしまう。
You think I could do it during break time?
騒がしい瞬間を狙えば音はごまかせる。が、万一見られてもしたら相手が同じ囚人でも一巻の終わりに等しい。
That's the reason why I've been doing it at night this entire time. Taking such a risk at this point is completely
なら
counterproductive.
ばどうする？
We need help. I stand up. I clear my throat and adjust my voice. Lightly clearing my throat, I cough one last time. I stop and contemplate the silence. Suddenly, I hear a woman sobbing in her cell. The voice gets louder and louder. It's not uncommon in here.
こんなとこ
Being sent to a remote island in the middle of the sea, separated from family and spending decades in a cold cage, can make some nights unbearable. Even sex offenders have a heart.
あれあれ嬢ちゃんどうしたのどうして泣いてるのママに会いたくなったんでちゅかバブバブバブバブバブバブ
Some people get very amused at the misfortune and sadness of others. It's probably the image that people on the outside have of us.
帰りたい
ドローンガールが帰りたい拙者この辺でドローンするでござるってか
Oh, that's some good acting from Kurobayashi. The crying echoes from Kurobayashi's cell. The mockery spreads like wildfire.
罰ですよ愚かにも私を懲罰遅れとかするから
やってろ
Those who are awake all start to mock the crybaby.
だよ寝れねえだろ口に哺乳瓶ぶち込まれてえか
Someone shouts, angry about being woken up.
打ち込んでくれちゃい赤ちゃん泣くのが仕事なんで
Those who taunt others often have short tempers. They cannot ignore the focus turning back on them. The entire ward is engulfed in an unusual uproar. We can't even hear the crying that started it all. She's probably not crying anymore.
やるな、彼女。
Yeah, she's quite the actress.
咳払いよさん、咳よさん、最後にまた咳払い。騒動が必要になればやってください。 ちょっくらお騒がせしてやります。
I was wondering what she could do to stir up some trouble. It turns out she only needed to cry a little. To think that could cause such a commotion. She really understands how this place works.
今に看守が来るぞ、修一郎。
Let's hurry. I throw a kick at the wall. The hole. The window doesn't budge, but I feel the impact. Ha! One more time. I kick the window one more time. Ha! A big dent forms on the grid. One more.
やかましいぞ。何を騒いでいる。
The final blow perfectly lines up with the guard's angry voice. Or so I thought.
抜けてないぞ。
The grid took a hit, but it's still standing. My last blow was not powerful enough to break through. Should I stop here for today? No. Could it be Ashi created a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Repeating the same stunt later would be too risky. I'll break through now. There's no other choice. Fortunately, others are keeping up the ruckus without cowering in front of the Kanchu.
待て修一郎。この程度の騒ぎでは音を隠しきれないぞ。
I know. I run to the bars and peek outside the cell. The Kanchu's light is shining through the darkness. I squint and focus on the Kanchu's movements. Despite the inmates ignoring her warnings, she stands firmly without showing any anger or impatience. That's it. I rush to the front of the hole, getting ready to kick. I concentrate all my senses on the hole in front of me. Timing is crucial. No need to panic. I know what I need to do. It will work. I'm holding my breath. All the background noise disappears. A gunshot rips through the tumult. The ultimate intimidation for prisoners ignore the guard's warnings. Even the savages of the obscenity war fall silent in response to this. Then, that did it. The kick coordinated with a gunshot got through the window.
やったじゃないか修一郎。
I am pumped up, but there's no time to bask in it. I quickly hide the chisel and the drone in the hole and cover it with a poster. I go back to bed pretending I have nothing to do with all this.
貴様ら黙って寝ていることもできないのか。いっそ全員脳天をぶち抜いた方が頭がまともになるかもしれんな。
Laughrin is in charge of us tonight. She seems perfectly on edge.
0858番。お前、ここの顔役だろ。何を騒いでいた。
最初になんか急に騒ぎ出した人がいまして、それでみんな釣られたみたいにキャーキャーってなって、私は静かにしようよって言ったんですけど、みんなが聞いてくれなくて。
If the guard hadn't arrived, the insults would still be flying her way.
最初に騒ぎ出したやつは誰だ。
確か0721番。0721番だと。
She shivers when she sees her reaction.
0720番です。
What a fucking pain! Holy shit! I can't help but be impressed by how someone with such a shitty personality can survive in here. Wintry footsteps are approaching my cell.
0720番。
I slowly open my eyes. Shikolenko Kanchu! What's going on?
とぼけるな。ベッドから出ろ。
Okay. I comply and stand up straight to avoid souring the mood.
お前がこの騒ぎの発端と聞いた。
Sorry, I don't understand. What mess? I was just sleeping.
顔役が言っていた。お前が急に騒ぎ出したと。
That must be a misunderstanding. Try asking the guys around. They'll tell you it wasn't me. She flashes her light in my face without a word. It's blinding, but I keep a straight face. Once I claim something, whether it's true or not, I always stand by it. And she knows that.
お前が真面目に勤めているのは私も把握している。
Thank you. I'm following your instructions.
ここにいるとな、真面目さや勤勉さなんてものを信じられなくなってくる。我々の目を欺くためだけに、そういう振る舞いをする輩が後を絶たない。そのポスターは何だ。
It's from the shipyard. I got a permission to put it up there to study it.
嫌に流暢な返事じゃないか。まるで用意していたみたいだ。
I did. I get asked about it a lot. I answered confidently. Sovereign suddenly opens the lock and enters my cell. She walks past me and stops in front of the
お
poster.
前、映画は見るか。
Oh shit, man! Because this is a very obvious trick in the movies, especially in Shawshank Redemption, which is referenced later at some point. Because you know, it was in the intro song. Don't tell me Sovereign's gonna check what's behind the poster. I don't.
刑務所というのはたびたび映画の舞台になる。よくは知らんが、都合のいい理由があるんだろう。
Oh damn.
中でも人気が高いのが脱獄映画だ。あの手この手で刑務官の目を盗み脱獄を敢行する。そういう駆け引きが受けるんだろうな。別の職なら私も好きだったかもしれない。データ、そういう映画じゃ受刑者たちは大体穴を掘って脱獄する。そんな穴どこに掘ると思う？
Alright, I'm excited to know how they're gonna go around this. I don't know.
そうか。いい機会だから一番有名なのを教えてやろう。脱獄用の穴を掘るのはな。
Actually, I just realized they also made a reference to the Bible being used as a way to hide things, which was also in Shawshank Redemption, by the way. Although they used it differently, I think, in Shawshank, but like, I mean, they placed something inside the book. But I think that's more like a common prison trick. But like, Shawshank Redemption is famous for the poster hiding the hole used to escape.
ポスターの裏。
She tears the poster down in a single movement. She focuses her gaze on the exact spot I kicked earlier.
まあ、所詮映画の中の話だな。
How did he hide it? There's nothing behind the poster.
金製品の類も特になさそうか。わかった。騒ぎの原因はお前じゃない。今後も真面目に過ごすことだ。
How did he do it? How did he do it, man? How did he do it? Hi. She leaves the cell.
今度また騒いでみろ。威嚇じゃ済まないからな。
Sovereign leaves after warning the entire ward.
さすがに祈祷が冷えたな。
Good thing we were prepared. I neatly reattach the poster on the wall. And I take out the wall color poster taped underneath it. Oh my god, Sovereign, holy shit. You were fooled, man. You were fooled. And reveal the hole. A 2-layer
壁と同
poster.
じ色のポスターだって？
It doesn't have to be a poster. As long as it looks exactly like a wall. Can you find something like this?
いや、調達するのが俺の仕事だ。だがなんだってそんなものを欲しがったりする。
That's an impressive take. I mean, I won't call it the smartest take. I mean, it works, so it works. But if Sovereign was a bit more observant, she would have noticed that. But like, you know, can you promise not to tell anyone?
ああ、もちろん。ただし、内容次第では仕入れはできない。
I understand. So the thing is, I came
な
yesterday.
んだって？
I blew a nut.
ボケちゃいないよ。お前さんの言ってることは分かった。だがなんでそれでポスターが必要になる？
I got some in the wall. It was stark, so I didn't notice right away. It wasn't until this morning that I finally noticed, and I tried to wipe it away, but it was too late.
残っちまったか。
And I want to hide
普通
it.
は誰も気づきやしないだろうな。
This place is anything but normal.
同意見だ。わいせつには特に厳しいのもいる。しかし、やっちまったな、お前。
I wanted to stop before it blew up.
若いってのはいいもんだな。ま、事情は分かった。なんとかしよう。
Thanks. Then one day, the item I requested got delivered along with some books. Some things can be hard to get through the shipyard. That's when the smuggler comes in handy. I'm still alive thanks to him. I take a look at the hole. The lattice window is gone. Sovereign is gone. And there's nothing left in my way. I should check if I fit in the hole. There we go. I attempt to enter the hole, moving aside the drone and the chisel as well. What's left of the window, as well as what's left of the window. I squeeze my body in, starting with my hands, my arms, head, and chest. The body smoothly passes through the hole. No snagging anywhere. Taking my time to dig paid off. My butt also passes through effortlessly. I would hate to get stuck like that. I pull my legs out.
完全に奥まで入ったぞ、修一郎。
I did, Amatsu-kun. I'll be in big trouble if someone comes to my cell right now. I can enter swiftly thanks to my preparations. Now, we can look for an escape route with a drone. Let's take a look around. Not just because I want to. Even if there's an escape route, it's useless if I can't reach it. I need to make sure there's enough space to move around. I crawl forward. The dimness inside makes it hard to see, even a short distance ahead. So cold. The walls are sucking away all my warmth. Still, my heart is warming up. Even if I can't see, I can rely on my mental map. I can roughly grasp my position without even trying. And it's not too difficult to move around. The duct's interior is surprisingly sturdy, and my body has also gotten quite a lot of training in the prison. I highly appreciate that there are no rats or insects inside. I turn right at the Y-shaped junction. I'm heading towards the medical ward. I can make it. The words slip out of my mouth. If I can move through the entire duct, and if the drone finds an escape route, I can make it out of this cold prison. I can make it out. I had to call it in here. It's already 1 hour, and I was wanted to finish the scene. We'll continue a lot more tomorrow. I should have a lot more time tomorrow. We'll probably go 3 hours or 2 hours tomorrow. Anyway, I hope you guys are watching, and we're gonna continue Henpri tomorrow. Ciao.
雨の音が窓叩くベッドの中で聞いたいつか借りた MD をローテーションしてみても君が口ずさんでいた曲名を